Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Figure Reviews. And today we're checking out the NECA 1954 Godzilla. Now, the first thing I want to say is the painting and sculpting on this figure is really good. Now, I have had this thing for quite a while now, and I just been meaning to make a figure review for it. I think we should start with the sculpting first. So, the sculpting here, it just looks, as someone once said, like fur. I actually kind of disagree. It looks like triangle-like scales on the body. Will the stupid camera focus? I really like the sculpting on the entire body, mostly because it just feels very simple and actually quite smooth. However, I do have one complaint: the arms. They're quite wrinkly, and if you bend them a certain way, as you can see, the arm looks very wrinkly. It looks even worse on the other arm. Other than that slight complaint, this figure is actually pretty good. We haven't even gotten into the main part yet. So, let's actually start talking about the other thing. Painting. Now, the eyes. I really love how cleanly painted the eyes are on this figure. And that's also another thing, the dorsal spines. I like them a lot. Love how the shading goes from this charcoal gray to a light gray all the way down to the tail tip. Now let's get into the moment all of you've been waiting for. The posability. Now the posability on this guy is really good as well. Now, as some people like to do, it's pretty solid. The tail not so much. At least it can stay up a little bit. If it didn't have 4 segments. Anyways, we have a ball joint at the head and at the base of the neck, and it has a hinge joint on the jaw. Its body is segmented into 2 segments, which allows for a really good crunch. However, the gap here kind of irritates me, and no arcing back. It can move side to side. If the chest is bent down, swivel. What feels like a ball joint at the shoulder, however, it's quite tight. Hinge joint at the elbows, ball joint at the wrist, and a hinge joint at the fingers, allowing it to go into a fist. You come to the legs. My initial reaction to the hip joints, they're pretty big. Decent spread. Another thing, the hinge joints on the knees are just stupidly tight. Ball joint at the foot. If the stupid thing would move, it swivel. And now the tail. We have a ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, and the rest here is a ball joint, is a bendy wire on a ball joint, which kind of limits the posability of its tail. That does not look right. One final thing. This thing has one accessory. And it is an atomic breath piece that I somehow dumbingly found or failed to find. And there is a peg back there where it plugs into. Just so you know. Well, other than that, I'd say this figure's pretty awesome. I just give it I'd give it an 8 out of 10 as total. Other than that, this figure is somewhat on the smallish side. Size comparison. Here it is next to the Hammond Collection Concavinator and the Hammond Collection Baryonyx. Other than the slight nitpicks, this figure is actually pretty good. How much did it cost? Heck if I know. It's been quite a while. Well, I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.